Today in our lineup here on The Now, all sorts of places from stadiums to stores are looking to use facial recognition, but this comes with a lot of privacy concerns. And now there's an effort to ban private companies from using the software. And a growing number of kids are being diagnosed with pre-diabetes. We're taking a look at how stress is making this problem worse and what you can be doing to help the kids in your life. And we buy pretty much everything online these days, right? But clothes, they can be tough because you never really know how they're going to fit. We're going to show you how that could be changing soon.
Thanks, Chris. I'm Amanda Starantino, and welcome to The Now, Indy. We all know seconds count in an emergency, but drivers blocking fire station driveways are causing precious time to slip away. One woman noticed it happening on the northeast side and brought it to our attention, but it could happen anywhere. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is working for you with potentially life-saving information.
When you have an emergency and call 911 for help, you expect first responders to arrive as soon as possible.
If you were in an accident on Benford or your house was on fire, I think it would be really unnerving to think that their response time was slowed down because they can't even get out of their driveway.
Nikki O'Leary lives on the northeast side near 56th Street and Benford Boulevard. Despite signs warning drivers to stop before Fire Station 8, this is a problem she often sees.
They sit there and just blow their horns, and then people that are parking the driveway are trying to figure out where to go because the only place they can go is into the oncoming traffic lane.
Drivers aren't the only ones concerned about this issue. An IFD spokeswoman tells me the house captain here at Station 8 actually complained to the Mayor's Action Center several times, and that is why DPW added this striping on the road here, but drivers still aren't paying attention.
It's always a concern for the firefighters when they could potentially get dispatched, and the delay in moving the traffic away from the approach so that they can enter and exit, takes away from precious seconds from the person calling 911 getting a response to their home or their business.
Battalion Chief Rita Wright wants drivers to know where their neighborhood fire stations are located and prepare to stop on either side of the driveway to keep it open for firefighters.
I think this affects a lot of people. There's a nursing home east of here, and there's a lot of residents around here that depend on them. A lot of elderly people in the area also that depend on them being able to get out.
I took Nikki's concerns to IMPD and found blocking a fire station driveway is enforceable. IMPD's traffic branch was not aware of the issue at this location, but they are now and will be looking into it. Working for you on the northeast side, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And according to state law, you cannot stop within 20 feet of the driveway of a fire station. IFD says Station 8 is not the only fire station that sits on a busy road where traffic backs up, especially during rush hour. IFD says they can typically get drivers to move quickly by activating their sirens, but they shouldn't have to in front of the station. Many times police officers are first on the scene in a medical emergency even before firefighters. And now every Westfield police officer will be armed with a tool that could save someone's life. Today, local nonprofit Bolt for the Heart donated 45 AEDs or automated external defibrillators for officers to carry in every patrol car.
The response time is so important, and all of our stations are positioned to maximize the response time, but sometimes that depends on the weather, depends on the traffic. If we can get an officer there much quicker than one of our giant fire trucks, and of course the cops are always on the street, up to 10 cars coming up next year per shift. That gives us unbelievable coverage.
Mayor Cook called this an incredible gift, saying the city could not have afforded to buy all of those AEDs. Prior to today's donation, there was only 1 or 2 AEDs available per shift. Kyle, a gorgeous day out there, and look at that sunset.
Yeah, near perfection really here for early December. So nice to see those skies clearing out and getting in on some sunshine. Of course, our sun set a little over 10 minutes ago, so things are going to quickly turn a little bit dark here, but temperatures, yeah, they also improved today as we made it a little above average. Right now, we're sitting at 45 in the Circle City, 48 in Bloomington, and 43 degrees in Lafayette. Now, it has been a little breezy today and still is. That west wind between about 10 and 20 miles per hour. We've got some gusts still in Indianapolis around 30 miles per hour as of 5 o'clock. Satellite and radar all nice and quiet. Look off to the northeast, though. The lake effect snow machines are cranking there. That is not coming our way. In fact, we'll stay pretty comfortable as we go through the next few hours, checking out some of those holiday light displays. Temperatures in the 30s by 9 and 10. Chris?
Word from the White House today that a new rule is finalized, making it harder for certain people to stay on food assistance. The new staff rule tightens requirements that allowed states to extend benefits beyond 3 months. Now, this is for working age adults who don't have a job or aren't in training for at least 20 hours a week. States were able to do this, citing lack of jobs or high unemployment in their areas. This impacts about 1 million people currently on SNAP benefits. The government arguing that unemployment is low, and this move will save about $13 billion over the next decade. But poverty and policy groups, they say the change isn't reasonable.
We know that these are among the poorest people in America. Their average income is $187 a month. They're very poor.
Ed Bolin with the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities says this new rule doesn't really do anything to address long-term dependence on food benefits. He says the population affected are less likely to have a high school diploma. They also often have transportation and health care barriers. Some might have undiagnosed physical and mental conditions as well. They typically have a harder time finding jobs.
There's employment and training options in SNAP. Again, this rule does not increase those options or improve them or make sure that all states are running good training programs.
Another concern about the new rule is what happens if the economy goes into a recession. It doesn't include adults with children in the home or the disabled or elderly. The new rule is set to take effect in April. Well, let's start the news feed with new rules from Instagram today. The app now requiring all users put in their birth dates. Now, it's to add more safety measures to the app. It also expands the amount of people who can see ads for age-restricted products like alcohol. Until now, you had to only say you were at least 13 years old. Black Friday, a big shopping day for firearms. The FBI says it saw the second highest amount of gun background checks ever. We're talking more than 200,000 were done for gun buys, the highest ever Black Friday 2017. Scientists say songbirds' bodies are getting smaller. Birds are usually bigger in colder climates, and scientists say warming temperatures to blame for this, leading to the animal's body mass shrinking. They say their wings are widening to make up for it. Well, let's get back to our lineup here on the Now. More places are looking to increase security with facial recognition. There are some privacy concerns that come with this. Some cities, they already banned police from using it, but ahead we're looking into one of the first efforts to ban private companies too.
Serious. Get Stewart. Get started.
Welcome back to the Now Indy on RTV6. Indiana University is reporting positive results from the pilot program that offered beer and wine sales at Memorial Stadium during the football season. IU Athletics netted just over $200,000 from sales, exceeding the original projections of $171,000. In addition, campus police and event security reported a significant decline in alcohol-related incidents in and around the stadium. There were 40 incidents this year compared to 59 last season. As part of the program, IU Athletics also gave just over $20,000 from the proceeds in support of substance use prevention programming for all students on campus.
Everybody's security concerns are leading stadiums to start to deploy facial recognition. There are a number of retail outlets are doing it. Airports are doing it. Schools are starting to do it in order to protect students from gun violence.
Technology experts say facial technology is expanding, evolving, and improving faster than we can keep up with. More lawmakers want to put the brakes on using this type of technology until they can really figure out the risks. City of Portland's considering banning private companies' facial recognition software. Until now, other cities had only limited law enforcement using it.
The concern is that those individuals might not be aware that they are being surveilled, that consumers would view this as an invasion of privacy. There's a question of how long the images get held.
Daryl West with the Brookings Center for Technology Innovation says that we need rules to make sure privacy isn't violated and people aren't racially profiled. Companies say the technology makes the public safer and can help find missing children or elderly people with dementia. A federal proposal would require court orders for ongoing surveillance and would prevent companies from keeping and sharing the data. The big change could be coming for people who travel internationally, as the Department of Homeland Security is looking at a proposal to require anyone going in or out of the U.S. to be photographed. Those pictures would then be put into a facial recognition system. The proposal isn't expected to be put on the table until next July at the earliest. Now, ahead in our lineup, some privacy concerns in places and among people that you might not expect.
Children or kids, they don't know what they should and shouldn't be doing yet, or they might not necessarily understand the risk.
Now, he's talking about popular apps like TikTok. Now, there are concerns they could be putting our national security at risk, what we all can be doing to better protect our privacy.
Board, RTV6 is working for you.
Let's turn to the Now News feed. Ford is turning to coffee to be more environmentally friendly. It wants to use skin from coffee beans for its headlamp housing. Traditionally, Ford uses materials that aren't renewable. The company also turning to McDonald's to try and use their beans to make this happen. Chipotle looking to help farmers that help build your burrito. The company offering contracts to pay farmers under 40 years old for ingredients. The company is also donating money to farms and plans to buy more locally sourced ingredients. Well, there are a lot of different ways to work out. The trendiest workout right now is a Megaformer Pilates class. Well, the app ClassPass looked at what kind of workouts were being booked the most, and they say that type of Pilates was the fastest growing trend in America. A popular app that millions of people use could be putting our national security at risk. Chloe Nordquist is taking a look into those concerns.
Social media app TikTok is known for videos of dancing, singing, and jokes, and the app's popularity has skyrocketed, especially with kids and teens, just like Kendall Wheeler.
I'm Kendall Wheeler, and I do TikTok, and I have over 440,000 followers.
The 17-year-old started her account at the age of 15 as a way to showcase her dancing.
I've been dancing since I was 3.
But her content has expanded.
I do dance, acting, trends, like all that stuff.
And her image is now attracting companies.
A lot more companies have been reaching out to me. I've made pretty good amount of money just from going live.
Kendall, how are you? This is my Discord will be using for these.
Aw, Levi. My friends are pretty much from TikTok.
Kendall is no exception. A survey shows that 13 to 16-year-olds prefer TikTok over Facebook. With 17 to 21-year-olds, TikTok is still popular, but not as much as other social media apps. Those ages 22 and up are less likely to have an account on the app. The app is owned by Chinese company ByteDance. There is now a federal investigation underway into potential national security threats that could come from the way TikTok handles users' private information.
Any foreign-owned application, there has to be some concern.
Donald McLaughlin is a cybersecurity professional who worked with the National Security Agency for a few years.
You always have to be cautious when you're dealing with a foreign country that, might have some different data laws.
TikTok fired back, writing in a statement that they store U.S. user data inside the country, and that they are not influenced by any foreign government.
When Kendall first started doing TikTok, I was not supportive of it at all.
Kendall's mom now supports her daughter's videos and occasionally watches through an account she made.
If anything like bad happens, then I would take real precaution.
Children or kids, they don't know what they should and shouldn't be doing yet, or they might not necessarily understand the risk.
Because behind these fun short videos lies personal information. Donald says paying attention to privacy policies is the first step.
Whenever you download a social media app, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you're giving away some of your rights. The application is free for a reason.
I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.
All right, Chloe, thank you. And take a look at this new device that could help police officers in the field called the Bola Wrap. Now, it allows officers to deploy a Kevlar cord from a distance. Now, that cord, it can wrap around a person's legs there. As you saw in that video, the LAPD will start testing this product soon. Right now, departments across 28 states are using the Bola Wrap in the field. Departments in at least 5 other states are considering adding them.
Thanks, Chris. It's a one thing to hit a game-winning shot to start off your basketball season. It's another to have that shot end up on national television. Take a look at the Southern Indiana school and student in the national spotlight.
They're not going to hawk the inbounds passer, Dave. Got time to get a shot away.
You know who it is.
He hit it.
That three-point buzzer beater last night by Mount Vernon's Cooper Galley gave the Marauders a 62-60 win over Decatur Central. And it was number 3 on last night's SportsCenter Top 10 on ESPN. Look at that.
So impressive out there. And yeah, we're getting ready for basketball season's really starting to heat up. Of course, day first at Purdue later on tonight. We'll have that for you coming up. Here's a look at what we've got going on as far as those temperatures, the clear skies. So numbers are going to start to fall back here a little bit. We're at 44 right now in Martinsville and even 40 in Richmond, and Tipton coming in at 40 degrees. Overnight tonight, upper 20s will do it with those mostly clear skies. We'll have a light west wind that's been a little breezy throughout the day today. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine back in the forecast here and may even be a little bit warmer than what we had this afternoon. 41 degrees at noon, 49 for that afternoon temperature. Should feel really nice, especially with a lighter wind, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll get highs into the lower 50s for you in Columbus and Bloomington, 51 there, 47 in Noblesville and around the Indianapolis area, upper 40s. Now, clouds will increase as we go into our Thursday night and Friday morning. See an isolated chance for a shower here the first half of Friday. Best chance for rain is going to be around Bedford, Seymour, toward Greensburg and North Vernon, areas off to the south and east. The rest of us, partly sunny skies will do it for our Friday. Next few days of our forecast here, primarily dry conditions. Again, that isolated shower chance into early Friday. 45 will be the high. We'll warm things up a little bit as we go through the weekend. By Sunday, we're at 51 with an isolated chance for a shower there. Enjoy the 50s while you can. Looks like another cold blast of air coming our way next week. Chris.
Some jarring new findings today about young people's health. 1 in 5 adolescents between the ages of 12 and 18 now have pre-diabetes. 1 in 4 young adults less than 35 years old are in the same boat. This is according to the CDC. Doctors say it's one of the consequences of increasing obesity.
At the end of the day, though, the things that we have control of are our nutrition, physical activity, and stress management.
Dr. Roy Kim with Cleveland Clinic Children's talked more about the role that stress plays. He said all sorts of different stress can alter hormones and affect appetite and blood sugar. It's something doctors are taking into account more when seeing young patients who are overweight or have prediabetes.
Also as important is really understanding how they're coping with stress, what their sleep is like, their level of resiliency, because they're about to undertake what's very difficult, and that's making fundamental changes.
Prediabetes can be reversed if it is detected. Other than being overweight or having a high body mass index, a person may not show any symptoms, so you have to have a blood test to check. The new findings also found prediabetes is more common in Latinos and African Americans. 25 million people buy a real Christmas tree every year. Annie Taylor with some unique advice from the experts on picking the perfect one that will last until the big day.
Buying a tree is the official start of the Christmas season, but trees can be expensive and we want them to last for the next 3 weeks. So we went to the Christmas tree master himself to get tips on how to do that.
Michigan Douglas firs are the most popular trees.
Meet Doug Brown, owner of Reindeer Ranch.
We've been selling Christmas trees since 1997, I believe.
So he knows a thing or two about what type of Christmas tree lasts the longest.
The noble firs and the Fraser firs tend to be the Cadillacs of trees. Those are going to be the ones that generally have the best look and will give you a good longevity.
Do the touch and smell test. If no needles fall off and it smells like pine, it's a healthy tree. As for the price of the tree, this year you might be paying a little extra no matter where you live.
There's a tree shortage going on right now. The price of trees has gone up significantly because the demand far exceeds the supply.
Before you leave the lot, get a fresh cut. Once you're home,
get it into your stand and put water in it right away. no later than I'd say 6 to 8 hours.
Check that water daily. A tree drinks about a gallon a day. As for placement goes, Doug says,
not to put it by a heater vent or a fireplace or direct sunlight.
Oh, and if you've ever heard to put fertilizer or Miracle Grow in the stand, Doug says that's a myth. If you follow these simple tips, Doug says you and your loved ones will be enjoying your perfect tree the entire holiday season.
What I love most about the holiday season actually is just really making people happy here at the tree lot.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Annie, thank you. Next on our lineup, we buy pretty much everything online these days, and clothes, they can be tough because you never know how they're going to fit, right? How that problem could change soon.